I'm Jessica Bartholow with the Western Center on Law and Poverty's Sacramento office, and it is my great pleasure to get to introduce to you the recipient of our 2020 Fair Shake Award in the category of Pro Bono Young Attorney. This attorney works in Sacramento's Manat, Phillips & Phelps office on legislative policy advocacy, and her name is Delilah Clay. Before you get a chance to hear from Delilah, I want to tell you a little bit about her and why she impressed Western Center advocates so much that she was nominated and unanimously supported to receive the award. First, Delilah helped to craft groundbreaking legislation that has now made its way across the state and into the US Capitol. This legislation, the Crown Act, is the first in the country to be passed and signed by any state legislature to protect natural hairstyles in classrooms and in workplaces across the state. This bill, introduced by Senator Holly Mitchell, helped to establish that a person has the right to their job and to their education and not to be discriminated or treated differently in those places because of their hair. I wish that we could say that that type of law wouldn't be necessary. Unfortunately, that's just not the case. And people in our state and students across the state have told stories that are countless, too many to mention, of being fired, of being given lesser positions, of being asked to go home and redo their hair because of a natural hairstyle that they had. So this piece of legislation, though we wish we didn't need it, we are so immensely proud to be part of the Crown Act Coalition and to have succeeded in being the first in the country to have a bill passed. Delilah helped also to craft the federal bill that was introduced with her colleague Leah Barros. And that bill is now pending in the US Congress. That would have been enough for any advocate to be proud of. And if in 2020, that's all that she would be celebrating is the introduction and passage and implementation of that law, that would have been enough. But in 2019, while the ink was still drying on that piece of law, Delilah picked up her walking shoes and pitched in on another piece of legislation that is groundbreaking and making a difference already in the lives of low-income Californians. That bill is Senate Bill 616 that was introduced by Senator Wachowski. This bill establishes a threshold under which no bank levy can go for consumer debt. And as of September 1st of this year, just weeks ago, Californians are now benefiting from the new law that was established by Senate Bill 616. So, on behalf of Western Center and the millions of people that we serve, Delilah, thank you so much. We appreciate you, and we're so grateful to be giving you this award tonight.
Thank you for this incredible honor. I love having an opportunity to work on pro bono matters because invariably you get the opportunity to work on issues of fundamental importance, things like housing and food security, issues of human dignity, things that are universal needs for people. The Western Center has stood in the gap on these issues for more than 50 years, and often, for folks who don't feel like there are people out there really advocating for their issues and their interests. So I consider myself incredibly honored to be able to work with your team on SB 616. The bill, among other things, makes it so that when debt collectors come calling, they can't take a person's last dollar. Folks now have the ability to protect enough of their money from wage garnishment such that they can take care of their basic everyday needs. And I can't think of anything more fundamental than that. Those last few weeks of session in 2019, we were basically like stalking members and staff around the Capitol building to get that bill over the hump. I got to work most closely with Jess Bartholow, who is an incredible advocate and just a wonderful person. that I got to know earlier that year through our work on the Crown Act. I also worked with Danny Kaiser, who was representing the California Low Income Consumer Coalition on that bill, but it really, really was a team effort. There were a number of Western Center advocates that spent a lot of time on that bill to get it over the hump. The bill's author, Senator Wajkowski, and his staff, Heather Rossitaris, were very passionate about that bill and worked it incredibly hard. So, you know, it really was a team effort, and I just consider myself very grateful to have been able to be even a small part of that team and helping see that bill get through the legislature and ultimately get signed. Pro bono will always be a significant part of my practice, and to that end, I want to thank my firm, Manat, Phelps and Phillips, for recognizing the importance of this work and always supporting me and supporting really all of us attorneys that work at the firm, to be able to lean into issues that we care about and that we're passionate about. So thank you to them. And again, just thank you for this recognition, and I will continue trying to live up to it as I continue on with my career.